So today we are working on what is probably the most well-known or visible aspect of land management to the deer hunting community, and that is cultivated forage. And we're gonna start with warm season food plots. So warm season food plots are traditionally a plot that is planted in the late spring, early summer months. The goal is that we're gonna use this forage to just provide a year-round buffet of food or food supply, forage supply for these animals. But what we're focusing on is the late summer, which is when their body's going through a lot of change. Does are feeding and nursing fawns. They're recovering from birth. They need protein to get that muscle rebuilt. They need protein to feed their lactation system. When it comes to bucks, they're growing inches of antler out of their head. So they have bone literally growing out of their head. They're also preparing their body from a muscle structure standpoint for what's gonna come in the fall. So they're trying to naturally build that muscle, but to build and properly supply the nutrition that you need for does or bucks, you've got to make sure that they have protein and they have plants and forage that are gonna provide protein. So that's where we get into these warm season plots. It's legumes for the most part. So things like soybeans that we've heard of. Other things include cowpeas. So where we're at as we stand, we have already come in, we've built a great seed bed, we put our tillage units to work, we've turned this soil over, all the vegetation was managed. We're ready to start putting seeds in the ground. And what we're going to do here today is we're gonna use a seeder. We've got a food plot seeder specifically. This piece of equipment is a cool piece of equipment. It comes from the Woods equipment family. It is the FPS 84, and this is an all-in-one or a one-pass type unit. What you don't have to worry about with this unit, I've noticed, is that it's set, it's ready to go. You just have to hook it to the tractor. We have a disc gang up front, it's adjustable, so we have the ability with that row of disc on both sides to angle or leave them straight. Really, we're gonna equate that down to how much disturbance of the soil we want. We're gonna leave those disc gang straight forward and try to create a little channel to drop that in to out of the feeding tubes. We've got 2 different hoppers, and we have the ability to plant 2 different seeds at 2 different depths. One which you can feed your larger seed through, one which is more designed for your smaller seeds. It's a pretty big deal. You have the ability to very easily keep those customized and to plant them at separate depths. The other thing to keep in mind is that, hey, we invest a lot of money in seed. It's not cheap, and you don't want to be inefficient with this. So Woods has got a calibration system that allows for us to go on ahead and preset and make sure that we're running an efficient amount of seed down into the soil or down onto the ground. You're not gonna be wasteful with your seed. So then you're gonna get into the spike roller, which is, compaction, helps get seed to soil contact. So you have all these elements. You have disturbance, you have proper seeding with the ability to plant a wide variety of seeds at different depths at the same time. And then you have what's gonna create that good seed to soil contact in the spike roller and the actual cultipacker on the back end. So the ability to have this true one-pass machine is pretty impressive, and it works. It's so well engineered, and that's what we're gonna use today. So we're probably gonna save some time, to be real honest with you, because we're not gonna go over this plot 3, 4, 5 different times with 3 or 4 or 5 different implements. All right, guys, let's dig down in here and see if we can find some seed. Oh, we just went, oh, right there, look. What did you find? Soybean. Soybean, all right, well, I got a soybean. So look, I dug just a little over 1 inch deep on that, which is, an optimal or a good planting depth. We got our beans planted, but we also, at the same time, if you look around, oh, right there, that's what I'm looking for. So that's a pea. So Stone, we were in the cabin, we were driving around, and you said, well, now do we have to go back and plant the peas? And do we? Nope, because it plants both at the same time, which is pretty neat. Hey, we got more work to do. We need to go do some plot maintenance and some farm maintenance, so why don't we get going?
Okay.
All right, come on, let's go, dudes.